Hey guys, I'm Lee from Lee Likes Music, the place to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp. And today we're going to talk about the Besnard Lakes. They have put out a new album not recently, it came out last year. It's called a Coliseum Complex Museum. So that's coming up. So the Besnard Lakes are an indie rock, post-rock, progressive rock, psychedelic rock band. It really depends on what album you're talking about. This newest album, which they created, a Coliseum Complex Museum, is leaning a little bit more towards shoegaze and psychedelic rock, I would say. The band, anyways, they formed back in 2003 in Canada. They released a total of 5 albums, and their latest one, the one we're going to talk about today, came out during the 22nd of January last year. So a Coliseum Complex Museum is an album of 8 songs. And just to sum up what I really think about this album, or at least my first impression after listening to it for a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, I really have to say that it wasn't really that good. A few of the songs did actually stick out, and there were actually a couple of songs that I really liked a lot, but then there were a lot of mediocre songs on this album. So I'm going to talk about in this review the songs that I liked, and then I'm going to go a little bit into why I didn't like the other songs, okay? So the very first song that I felt like I really liked a lot is actually the 5th track. And yes, this is a very, very bad start to an album when you notice that you like the 5th song. I mean, if you like the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd song, the album is off to a good start. But I was just listening to this album during the first 4 tracks, and I was like, well, this is mediocre. And then the 5th track came, and this is a bit more of a driving track. It's a bit more, how can I put it? It's a bit more direct. It is less psychedelic inspired and more hard rock inspired. It has a driving tempo. It is a lot faster compared to all of the previous songs on the album. And the different passages in the song, for example, the verse, the chorus, and the after chorus, are very, very different. There's a huge contrast between the different passages and parts of the song, which again is also a huge contrast to the previous songs. The other songs are they're very spacey, psychedelic, they're slow paced, and sometimes you just dab off. You start to intuitively listen to the song because it's not really that enticing and changing and dynamic. This song, track number 5, The Plain Moon, it is really dynamic. It's a huge contrast to the other songs, and I love it. This is the first song that I really came to like on this album. They're not going completely out of their original style that they provided on the first half of this album. They still have these psychedelic tendencies on the song. There's a lot of like weird guitar effects here that are typically used in this psychedelic soundscape. You get what I mean. And I think that's a good thing. I think that they hit like the sweet spot between being actually graspable and hard-hitting and having that psychedelic feel. I love this because it's the middle ground, and that's good. This is what actually suits the band. Love this song. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. The second song that I liked a lot, or that I liked-ish a bit, is actually the first song. And the reason why I am mentioning the first song now is because this is the song that I liked after the 5th track. It is called the Braille Road Beasts. It starts out with these really spacey guitars and synths. There's also some noises coming in and out kind of randomly here. During the first 1.5 minutes of the song, it feels like the song is just drifting away. It's unfolding, and it's very static, and it's dreamy, and it's like, psychedelia. Alright, so if snow that is gently falling from the sky, if that could actually manifest into a song, this is what it would sound like. Jack Lasak, the vocalist of the band, I hope I pronounced his name right. If I didn't, you guys should Tell me in the comments below. Anyways, his vocals are kind of soaring across all of the other instruments. He performs and delivers this very psychedelic experience. And what I mean by that is that when he sings, especially in this song, some of his words are very lengthy. He is stretching the words out, and he is kind of just floating above all of the other instruments in this very spacey way. But then again, I feel like this song is very repetitive. Maybe it's just the fact that I haven't listened too much to the Besnard Lakes. I don't know, but as of now, I really didn't come to like their sound that much. It's very repetitive. It is very slow paced. It is not that enticing, at least compared to my standards. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. It was good, but not that good. Alright, so those were the 2 songs that I liked on this album, and the rest is mediocre or bad. The 6th track on the album is a great example of a song that is just so mediocre. It's not even mediocre, it's just bad. It is slow paced, it unfolds in a very gentle way. The mood is positive and it's chill, but the problem that I have with this song is that it's so repetitive. It is insanely repetitive. It feels like all of the instruments are kind of mashed together. None of the instruments are standing out. The song in general is not standing out, and I just feel like this is a filler on the album. As I mentioned, it is repetitive, and it's not just repetitive in terms of the sound on the actual song. It feels like it is repetitive in terms of the album. Album-wise, it sounds like it's something I've heard before. It sounds like some of the other tracks. I like songs to be memorable. I like them to be sticking out, but at the same time being conformed to the overarching idea of what the artist wanted to create on the album. But this was just too conformed. It was too repetitive. It was too boring. So yeah, Necronomicon. It was a good name. It was an interesting name, and that is the only thing that is kind of good about this song. It got me interested, but then very uninterested when I started listening to it. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. The second song that also disappointed me in a big way is the 4th track. It is called Towers Center to Sheets of Sound. During the intro of the song, you can hear this lo-fi recording of the instruments or the melody that is playing during the middle of the song. And from there, it jumps into this ever-changing soundscape of guitar effects and vocals. The Besnard Lakes are again returning to this very spacey and psychedelic route that they continuously perpetuate throughout the whole album. For a short instance, the intro riff of this song really reminded me of The Mocking Jewel by the Mars Volta. But then I actually researched it. I actually put on the Mars Volta on Spotify, The Mocking Jewel, and it really didn't have that much of a resemblance. What really draws this song down in terms of the rating that I'll give it is the lack of dynamic touch. It is very straightforward. It really doesn't change a lot in terms of the dynamics. It is, I don't know, it's just very straight. I'm left with this feeling that they could have made something very unique with the psychedelic route that they're taking, but they don't. They simply do something that is very simplistic. It is very boring. It is not enticing. It's not changing even. And I don't know, at some point during this album, I don't know if it was during this song or another song, I realized that, maybe the goal of this band with this record was to create atmospheric songs that are kind of lingering in the background, things that you can listen to without actually paying that much attention, you know, songs that you can listen to and kind of, I don't know, intuitively listen to it, because it really doesn't give you anything graspable. I really hope that that was the intention of the band, because if it wasn't, if the band actually tried to create something that was graspable, enticing, and just very, I don't know, something that people would actually like a lot and listen to with complete focus, then it's kind of sad, because that is not what happened to me, at least. So yeah, towers center to sheets of sound. I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 10. And yeah, that was the album. I have written a lot more about the different songs here, but it's like, you know, most of the songs here, I'll give them a 4 out of 10. I gave one of them, the previous song that I talked about, the previous before this one, gave it a 3 out of 10. Lots of 5 out of 10s here. Nah. I don't want to talk about this too long. So the Basnard Lakes, a Coliseum Complex Museum, I'm gonna give this album a 5 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like to check out new music, if you like to share, explore, and learn about rock music from Bandcamp, then I highly suggest that you click that red subscribe button below. Also, let me know what you guys think about the Basnard Lakes and this album. Do you think I gave them a good review, a bad review? What do you think about this album? Would you give it a 5, 7, 6, 1? Let me know in the comments below, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you later. Bye. Just wanted to say hi. Hi. Damn. Sometimes I think I'm so funny. You probably don't. I don't know. And that was a good one.